A huge Bitcoin warning signal flashed earlier on this morning, and 90% of the time, it causes the Bitcoin price to go lower. So that's what we'll explore on today's video. And apart from that, I want to talk altcoins. I know it's not the golden opportunity to buy altcoins yet, but I still think that if you want to allocate some money and hold it for the next 12 to 24 months, you're probably gonna make a 5x to 3x on your portfolio quite easily. So let's jump into the video. But before we do, smash up the like button, subscribe to become a crypto kid. And yeah, let's dive right in. The past 5 months have been super boring for Bitcoin. We've been in the exact same range and there are a few warning signs. So let's get straight into it. The second half of this video though, if you are somebody who's not a crypto degen or not necessarily a trader, you have a 9 to 5 job, you have different responsibilities outside of crypto, the second half of this video is going to be more suitable for you because yes, there are a few warning signs that could crash Bitcoin another 20%, 15%, 10% from where we are sitting today. But if your goal is to create generational wealth with the money you're saving and you're buying on a daily basis into Bitcoin, the second part of this video is going to be very bullish because I think all the traders already know that the price of Bitcoin is going to go eventually to 5 million, 10 million at some point in time because of how money works, because of how the global economy is. But if you don't know too much about that, the second half of this video is going to be for you. Enough said with that, let's go into the warning signs. The first one is that Bitcoin got a death cross on the daily time frame. That is not the best thing to see, the crossover of the 50 and the 200 moving average. The last time this happened was back in September of 2023, and you can see that Bitcoin consolidates a little bit below the death cross for some time. And then eventually, if you make it above the 50 moving average, things can go into greater good. But Bitcoin hasn't done that so far. We're finding resistance at that level. And it makes me believe that the death cross could be a bit more similar to what happened here, perhaps, and here, which indicated cycle tops. We have to have some sort of caution. We cannot ignore it whatsoever. But apart from that, I think that the death cross is a warning sign. The fact that the Fed is about to cut interest rates this week, they're going to come to a decision on that during Jackson Hole, which is a conference where all the Fed presidents come together and basically come to a conclusion on where the economy is heading and what steps they should take to better it. Yeah, I don't know. I really can't say because every single time that the Fed has cut rates from a point of high interest rates to low interest rates, the stock market absolutely collapsed. I mean, we saw it during the dot-com bubble, we saw it in the 2008 financial crisis, it happened during COVID, and you're probably going to say, okay, in the dot-com bubble, it was something different. In COVID, it was COVID. During the financial crisis, it was the housing market. But no, interest rates are fundamentally affecting all of those issues. And I think that if you're looking for a slogan for this time round, I would say political instability, geopolitical tension, the everything bubble. So there are issues currently too. They tend to give the reasoning behind the crash after it takes place, if it makes sense. So I just feel that it will happen yet again, just like it has done every single time in history. And if the stock market goes down, then Bitcoin is inevitably going to go down. How far low would we drop? 47K, 40K, 30K? I don't know. I can't make a comment. But if we ignore the stock market and focus on Bitcoin, focus on the point of the cycle that Bitcoin is in, this is the time to be excited. I mean, this is the time where we're just about to break from the prior all-time high. We're in a bull flag, we're in a cup and handle pattern, and in a few months, technically, we should be breaking out and going to 95K, 130K, 200K, whatever. That should be the point of which we are in the cycle. But honestly, from the macroeconomic perspective, it's tough to give a judgment. If we compare this accumulation phase to what took place in 2020, then we can see that during the accumulation phase itself, Bitcoin can have a significant drop, but it would still be equivalent in the accumulation phase, and then eventually it rallies to new parabolic all-time highs. That could be the case. But in all honesty, regardless if Bitcoin creates that double bottom and then breaks above the prior all-time high at 73.7K, and we go back to the upper bound resistance of this bull flag, which I think it looks like a bull flag now, not a descending broadening wedge, even more bullish. If Bitcoin creates that double bottom here, then in October during Pumptober and up November, we break out and go to new all-time highs. I don't know. I can't put a pinpoint, but I think the market is concerned on the election and what will happen with rate cuts. And once we get a definitive answer, then Bitcoin is going to give its direction, and it's going to make it more obvious to tell us which way we're actually heading in the market. But I can tell you that there is fear, and when there's fear, it's time to buy. If you're more of a conservative trader, then you can wait until that death cross is invalidated and Bitcoin goes back above 61.7 to open a long position, or even 64K, which I said in my past video with the Bollinger Band analysis. You can wait for 64K and you can watch the video after you're done with this one. It's a different perspective on the charts. Or you can wait until we create a double bottom and then you go in, or maybe even lower. It's all completely up to you. If you're looking for a place to put limit orders and DC into Bitcoin in terms of your long positions, then you can do it on Bitflex or Bybit. That's where I do my trades. I currently have a long position that I entered at 56.1, and it's so funny because the price came down to 56,101. And I missed my stop loss by $1. So I'm super grateful for that. But yeah, honestly, I cannot give you a guaranteed direction, and that may feel unorthodox from a crypto technical analyst YouTuber. But I have to tell you, I mean, when I'm not sure, I'm going to tell you that I'm not sure in the short term. But in the macro, I cannot be more sure than ever that the price of Bitcoin is eventually going to go up. Like I said, just from how money works, just from the fact that the US national debt, or the total debt the US has, crossing over 100 trillion. I mean, when you encounter all the facts that we have today, when you encounter the fact that Bitcoin is broken out of diminishing returns against the Turkish lira, against the Nigerian naira, against the Egyptian pound, like, we know that eventually it's going to be the same thing with the US dollar too. It's a matter of time. And that's why I'm saying, this is the second part of the video, by the way, that's why I'm saying if you have other responsibilities outside of crypto, if you cannot put your mind and dedication into this to build something, build a business, become a trader, investor, then the best thing that you can possibly do is to buy on a daily basis, read about Bitcoin, understand how money works, and that's how you will create generational wealth. And this will take us to the final warning signal that I have for Bitcoin. And it happened this morning, and this is the one with the 90% accuracy rate. My dad, he decided to buy Bitcoin independently for the first time without me forcing him to do it today, this morning, saying, oh, look, the price is low, I should buy. And let me tell you this, even though if it's a time where I force him to buy Bitcoin, when I tell him to buy it, due to his luck, completely his luck, by the way, I tell him buy today and then he buys 3 days later, it goes down, it crashes. So 90% of the time, Bitcoin has fallen down. I checked his buy history. Bitcoin has fallen down after he decided to purchase Bitcoin. So just be careful. This morning he said, I'm buying Bitcoin. I don't know. It could be a reason for why Bitcoin crashes, but just FYI, right? I don't want to leave that out because it has crashed every single time, almost every single time. But now I want to switch over to altcoins, because I think apart from Bitcoin, if you create a portfolio where you're 50% into Bitcoin, 20% into Ethereum, and 30% into the top 100 altcoins, you're going to have a 3x in the next 12 to 24 months. I strongly believe that. And that's why I want to shift into that section for the final segment of today's video. But before we do that, I have to give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is Xborg. And they are building something pretty cool. It's essentially a digital ID like WorldCoin. And I know I'm against WorldCoin completely, but this is for gaming. And gaming is the sector that I'm most bullish in the entire crypto industry. In fact, a lot of my altcoin and startup investments, they're primarily in gaming, and I don't go outside of gaming too much. I think it's the most important sector. I think it's going to bring the most adoption, and it has the most retail use cases as possible, like ChatGPT for AI. It introduced AI to the greater world. And I think crypto gaming and play to earn will do the same thing effectively. And Xborg have built something cool. All of the battle royales you've won, all of the, I don't know, tournaments you've won in different games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, track it under one digital ID where when you hop from one game to another, you can prove that you've accomplished everything that you've said you've accomplished, and essentially you get to own your data on the blockchain, verified on the blockchain. It's pretty cool. I like their project. They're launching today on Swissborg, Jupiter, and Uniswap. So if you want to check them out and pledge your tokens for staking, then you can do your own research at the links in the description down below. And with that said, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. And we can continue with the altcoin segment for today. The first altcoin is, of course, Ethereum. And Ethereum is unbelievably undervalued in my opinion. Like a $2,500 Ethereum is so cheap, I can't comprehend it. Like Ethereum isn't even created at an all-time high yet. We've not even surpassed an all-time high for Ethereum like Bitcoin, unlike Bitcoin. And eventually that's gonna happen. And if we just buy now, right, that's gonna give you a return of almost 100%. So you're almost making 2x guaranteed if Ethereum goes back to its all-time highs. And we have a beautiful reversal candle, in fact, two reversal candles. We've tested the prior resistance of this ascending triangle that we charted with Carl in November of last year. Like it's just Ethereum's not had its run yet, and when it does, it's going to shock a lot of people. And I think, buying Ethereum is the way to be bullish on blockchain. And buying Bitcoin is the way to be bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the currency, Ethereum is the blockchain. If you want to invest in blockchain, I think Ethereum is the alternative, and that's how institutions see it with the ETF. And if you want to buy Bitcoin, then you just buy Bitcoin. So Ethereum is looking cool. Shiba Inu, I was super surprised about. Like I remember buying Shiba back in 2021, right before the all-time high that it created, like the massive all-time high it created in the 2021 bull cycle. I remember buying Shiba right down there, and I didn't sell. I made like from my $1,000 went to like $30,000, and then I didn't sell. I've still not sold until today. And when I look at the price chart, we're only 100% higher from where I bought initially. So I think Shiba is again another very undervalued project. I like Matic. That's at like 45 cents, and at the top of the bull market, it was at $2.50. AVAX is another one I really like. And yeah, essentially, like if you just allocate into some of these top 100 projects, you scroll down through CoinMarketCap, read the white paper, understand their business model, and invest in the ones that you see good community and good potential revenue in the future, I don't think you can go wrong with a potential 5-3x if you start buying today and hold. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I just realized I said today a lot of times during the video. So I hope that didn't bother you. But thank you, thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.